So here we go. It'll either be Kim Green or Melanie Ingram to become our fourth semi-finalist in women's 10-pin play at the Canadian Bowling Championships. And it'll be Kim Green from Duncan, BC to throw first. She scored a 183 in her win over Monique Boulanger, while Melanie Ingram bowled a 169 to beat Julie Johnson-Loyer.
Left-handed lane, and there she goes. Leaves up 2 pins on the right-hand side, the 6 and the 10 pin. Yeah, pleasure to watch this bowler compete. She bowled in the YBC and has competed for 30 years. All right, we're off to start with a spare. Melanie will be trying to redeem herself here with a 169 to advance, which is quite surprisingly low. But she finished with a bunch of strikes. In fact, she had 6 strikes.
Got a late fall before the gate came down, so leaves her with 3.
Holds the baby finger underneath her hand there. Get the ball out. Get a little bit more action on it. There we go. 2 spares, 1 for each of the competitors. Northern Ontario against British Columbia. Just about as far apart in the country as you can go. Got a lot of splash on the pins, leaves up the 5 pin in the center.
That one may be the most surprising pin that is left standing, just because of the way you attack that.
Well, you need the ball. That's when you can usually tell if the bowler is releasing the ball right. If they continually leave the 5 pin up, the ball's not going deep enough into the pocket. I'm glad to see they're making spares because they get their confidence back up here and they'll start swinging the ball and relaxing and letting it loose.
Yeah, but see what happens when they have to fire the corner.
Well, we've got 2 bowlers up here that have the opportunity right now to give us a good demonstration. There's a good demonstration of a release. And you asked for the corner.
We got a chance. Interestingly enough, though, between when we were away and the bowlers were warming up, Kim Green specifically threw a couple of balls to pick off the corners just to practice it. So we'll see if practice pays off here. She tries to make it back-to-back spares. There you go.
Indeed she did.
One more semifinalist to find. It'll either be Kim Green or Melanie Ingram in this year's women's 10-pin of the Canadian Bowling Championships. Oh, that could have been very ugly.
Well, it certainly would have been, because it would have sort of set the tone that they don't need, to get in early like this. Now she got a bit of a break. This corner pin went down. The 6-10 left remaining. So we'll see if they can just relax, let the ball swing, let the hand swing the ball loose.
Nicely done. So 3 spares to start here for Kim Green. And now Melanie Ingram, who may have felt a little bit fortunate. Started off poorly, but then again, Julie Johnson-Loyer didn't do anything to put her away. Kick, and there it goes. So good action. And then, to Melanie's credit, she put together a late run of 3 strikes to win her preliminary.
Well, there's the deep knee bend I keep talking about, and you see the results at the other end. She freewheeled it. She bowled very well. Winning in 1994, she won the CTF Northern Ontario event. That's quite an accomplishment. There's one of the reasons why, because all of a sudden she's relaxed a little bit more. 2 strikes in a row. She is one that certainly took advantage of the downfall of her opponent, unfortunately, and somebody wins, somebody loses, but she took advantage of it. Now let's see whether or not.
So Kim Green now, pressure is on her. Oh, great action. Got him from the left, got him from the right.
The pins hit, and they hit the kickbacks and the side panels, and watch this here. This is a perfectly executed shot. Watch the results down the end. Everything going around. You see the caterpillar in effect, you know, the helicopter thing spinning them around. Really well done.
That head pin came all the way over off the sidewall to catch the 10.
Swung it back, swung it over, and there we go. As she stepped forward with that, she took the bowling ball and turned it just a little bit in her hand. She turns it right here. Now she comes through and she drives the hand right through the ball, just about ripping the cover off the ball, and there's the result at the other end. We'll suddenly go from having trouble to where we're having a great night. Well, that's a real nice ball. Unfortunately, she left up a single pin. However, she has 2 in a row, 2 strikes in a row, and has the single pin to shoot at here. You would not know that she has not been on television before, because she's pretty composed, actually. Watch the baby finger underneath there, cradling under the where they normally have your baby fingers together. She's got hers folded under, gets it down a little bit more direction. Seems like she's moved her index finger up a little bit as well, so she's getting a little bit more spin on the roll on the ball. There's the scoreboard, 88 and a potential 87. Sometimes these low-scoring games can turn out to be some of the more nail-biting, because you never know what happens with them.
Melanie is a clerk at the Sioux Area Hospital.
Has to be careful going down the lane trying to convert this spare. 3 pins just to make sure she follows right straight through, pick up the middle pin and get the. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They chop off the cherry right there.
So her first open comes in 6th. And so it's 114 through 6. And you see Kim Green is at 57 through 3, but has a couple of strikes up.
A good hit here will put her right back into contention. In fact, the strike will give her the lead. This is a nice ball. How sweet it is to get the game going the way the women are capable of doing it. This ball goes all the way out. Look at the balance. Look at the delivery. Never leaves her eyes off of the lanes. Leaves them right on the target. Never lets them waver at all. Watch the eyes. You can tell so much in this. She's done real well on the left-hand lane. She's been getting pretty good consistency on strikes. Watch the eyes. They don't move. They don't waver at all. And this is an example of the results. 7-pin. Now she'll need to make sure she converts this, and then she's now got a 136 to 114. You have made mention of it many times. The timing is so critical, and she got the 3 strikes when she needed it.
And again, good cover on that corner for the spare in 7. As Kim Green leads by 136-114.
Tell you what, she's impressed me because she's pretty solid at that line, and she doesn't let too much phase her. She's had a couple of tough breaks with some of the qualifying scoring and the frames that she had. But even after she had that open there, she came right back down to a nice ball, very solid, straight at the line. Watch the shoulders. Watch how nice her shoulders are at the line. When she lines up here, goes straight through, follows right through, got the knee bend up, and her hand going right out to the right-hand side. And hello there. She gets another one right up, double back. So she's right back in the thick of it. She is very solid. The double gives her 144. Look at this. This is pretty cool. And she's got a ball in hand yet. All right. Kim Green up on a spare.
And boy, leaves the 7 again. That's 1, 2, 3 times in 8 frames that she's left that 7-pin.
And she can ill afford to miss this particular shot. I don't expect it to happen. She's pretty steady in all of her spares under normal circumstances. And now we have 155, and should Ingram turn around and get another strike, we could be right back into a excellent game again. The timing is so critical. 155 for Kim and a spare up. Let's see where she is. Nice balance, excellent execution, and again, I think she'll be glad to get rid of that corner pin. Checking out the scoreboard.
And what can she do with her leaving that now 4 times?
Well, you know, she's so close that she doesn't want to do too much of anything. You play around with your game too much and you're leaving the corner pin. Should just do minor adjustments and don't do too many things all at one time. Just try maybe change your target just a fraction of an inch, move over maybe a quarter of the board. Because you don't want to adjust the speed consistently. You just want to stay steady with it. And that is a perfect opportunity here for Melanie if she gets another strike, and she has that.
Look at that late tap on the 7, and that is 3 in a row. And that just mirrors what she did against Julie Johnson-Loyer. 3 strikes in 7, 8, and 9.
Now, the interesting thing about that, should she get one more strike, she's in the anchor frame. Should she get one more strike, she has tied the game. She gets one more strike here, she'll have 174, and actually a jump because she's got a double up. And that is not the double up that she wanted by any means.
That's really tough.
Man, this game had turned right around. She's 172 and 174. Now she needs to make sure she'll go for this. I'm quite sure, but she needs to pick up for sure 1 pin. Needs to get on the right-hand side of the closest pin to us and hope that she can get it over. Not going to happen. So she has a 200 game, respectable. Certainly better than a 169 that she had, and she bowled a good game, just a tough break there. Now, what we need for Kim Green is a mark. .193.
No, goodness.
Spare up.
That's enough. That'll put her over by 2 pins, even with that 9 count. So she will advance, Kim Green, but my goodness, that 7-pin. She'll see that in her dreams.
She will indeed. I remember my young daughter in the YBC Championship missed a corner pin and came back off the airplane and did nothing but practice corner pins for 2 hours. 213 potential. So we have a 200 to a 2 potential 13. So we know who the next person to advance is.
something other than a 7. As she leaves the 9-pin at the back and bowls at 212. Kim Green from Duncan, BC becomes our 4th semifinalist.